All right. Well, I hope you guys had a great week. I'm officially back from vacation, and I'm going to start doing the dailies, obviously, as usual. So today is for Tuesday, September 29th. And if you have any questions, please let me know. So let's go ahead and have a look. The moon is finishing her transit of Pisces here today, which is where that lunar eclipse was last Sunday and early Monday, early yesterday. So there is still, that spiritual energy coming in. The lunar eclipse is about introversion. It's about finding that inner guidance. It's about connecting to what's really meaningful in life. It's nothing that's really put into words, but it's through that alone time, through that spiritual time out, we really connect to it. And with the lunar eclipse, it was associated with the south node this time, so it's about releasing any past energies about the unconscious mind, the subconscious, past spiritual energies, things that are really kind of integrating and happening naturally in the psyche, because Pisces is very much about the unconscious, that then refreshes us. It gives us, afterwards in this early part of the week, generally speaking, we should feel refreshed. We should feel like there's things that were released. There's less of the weight or whatever it is that is helping the energy start to move forward. Now it's slow. It's very subtle. Again, it's not very conscious necessarily, but it is all about the old, and the old's being released so that the new can come in. Now, the moon is going to be going into Aries, which is much more active here today. This is going to be about early to midday for those of us in the Americas, later on the day, afternoon, evening if you're in Europe. And of course, if you're in Oceania, New Zealand, or Australia, do watch the previous day's video, as you'll find that to be the most accurate. But anyways, the moon in Aries is much more about activeness. It's about getting that physical body moving. I think it's always a good time to do that within reason with the moon in Aries. Setting goals, intentions, plans, things like that. Can be quite nice, and it's finding the middle path. So it's focusing on self, but at the same time balancing it, not going to any extremes with it, I think will be important. I feel like the best way to work with it is to really integrate into the daily sphere a lot of this more subtle spiritual stuff that has been coming through or has been releasing over the past couple days. So let's go and do a sort of recap here of the planets in the sky. We still have Venus, Mars, and Jupiter in Leo. This whole lunar cycle is actually in Leo right now at the moment. So a lot of this energy is being activated about playfulness, passion, expressing ourselves, bringing more creativity and fun into whatever it is we're involved with. It might be a business. It might be, getting more creative just generally. It might be with relationships or what have you. But I feel like really tapping into that inner spark is going to be the key that really lightens everything up and brings in more of that, lighthearted energy, which is so important right now with all this energy in Leo. So with the Venus here, it can certainly be in the relationships. I think we can enjoy that creative passion right now at the moment and self-expression. I think we're quite assertive, or at least can be, with the things that we're expressing right now, which is very good. It could also be very good for creative pursuits in general with Mars here. And of course, with Jupiter still transiting Leo, there should be plenty of opportunities to have that more lighthearted, playful attitude about life, and maybe get, bring in some of that creativity into it. Because, everything is creative, of course. But creativity is when we're actually tapping into that inner spark, that inner passion, and putting that into something or just expressing it or whatever it might be. So anyways, lots of Leo energy still at the moment. Mercury still retrograde, of course, so things are in flux, especially about the daily routine side of things, whether it's your work, your health, your diet, whatever it might be on that level. So it's still a great time to reflect on that. Mercury retrograde is going to conjoin up to the sun here tomorrow, exact. So as the day unfolds, you'll probably be gaining a greater insight of that. Mercury retrograde conjoining the sun is that Mercury is very close to the earth right now at the moment. So things like reading, writing, teaching, that kind of thing, mercurial stuff, can be very good right now if we're bringing that extra attention to it, if we're willing to adapt, change, do new and different things, which is Mercury retrograde. And then naturally through that, it can be, a good time for those things. So that's going to be heightened, I feel like, especially tomorrow, but today probably to a degree. And I think the greatest advice I can give with that is just kind of being open to change and being in flux with those daily spheres. Now, Saturn, as you can see, is slowly making his way into Scorpio, leaving Libra for the last time now. He was actually already here in Scorpio this early part of the year, so it's nothing new per se completely, but now Saturn's going to be in there to stay for good. So this is all about building solid foundations with what's really meaningful to us in life. And as October unfolds, as he goes closer into that Scorpio energy, we're going to be feeling that shift. So just to kind of put it out there, this is a great time to really get meaningful, really get deep, really get into what's really important to us in life on that watery emotional level. And through that, that's what will create the foundations in our life. Once we have the truth, once we see the truth, we sort of are aware of it. And it might be with ourselves, it might be with relationships, it might be with the world at large, but then accepting it and embracing it. Having that acceptance is what Scorpio is really about. And that can be the strong foundations for the future there. So let's go and look at the transits. Speaking of Saturn, Saturn is still sextiling up to the North Node. So this is very nice for the future. North Node is the future energy. It's a life path. And with Saturn, there is an opening with the sextile to be patient, to be perseverant, to have that perseverance and slow and steady attitude about how things are unfolding right now at the moment. I think naturally it's available. It's not a given because it's a sextile, but it is there. Anyways, this aspect is going to be going on all the way through October 11th. So it is a good time to stay grounded, to do the long-term thing, to really bring in that pragmatic approach to whatever it is that we're involved with. And naturally through that, it's a great way of working with this transit. So as you can see, the day's kind of split up into two halves here. The moon is going to be trending up to Venus this first half of the day, so quite nice for the relationships, one-on-one connections, simple pleasures. The moon will still be in Pisces at this time, so again, a good time to reflect and still do that introverted sort of thing. But as the day unfolds, especially with the moon shifting into Aries, the moon then trines up to Mars, the ruler of Aries. So very assertive, and I feel like it's supportive. I think our confidence level should be quite good, or at least we're sort of feeling that increased energy. It's the part of the lunar cycle where the energies are high, even though it's very spiritual in Pisces. So active things, goals, all of that. But I think naturally our confidence, assertiveness should be quite supportive the second half. And as you can see here, tomorrow Mercury retrograde does go over the sun. So that energy, I think, will unfold as the day unfolds as well. So that's the general energies of the day. I think the high point is certainly going to be this activation of the moon with Mars and Venus here in Leo. Again, that creative spirit, that passion, that unique self, and expressing that in our relationships and with others and just in general. And with the moon shifting into Aries, really integrating these spiritual sort of times and this spiritual insight, whether it's practical or not, and just living it, embodying it, and pursuing it with the moon shifting into Aries today. So have a great day, everyone. Thanks again for all of your support. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.